how everything was so hard, you know, famines, all that. Do you think that's what produced like so many like vagabonds and beggars and prostitutes? Do you think the weather condition
it enforced the famines. The famines enforce the deprivation. The deprivation enforces high-level illusion. That's where things get tricky. You see, the deprivation influenced high-level illusion and imagination in order to survive. Because even if you have a morsel of bread, okay, and I have no bread, I have to make you like me in order to get a piece of bread. Period. Even if I can't make you like me, I have to make you feel at least sympathetic.
Right.
About my position, you know, and I have to look at myself as selfless. I have to be in full need on my knees, begging, kissing your feet, and washing your feet. I have to go to full extent in order to get the morsel of bread.
And do you think that just applied to the peasants, or the nobles have to get down like that too?
No, this applies to the Western attitude. If you don't have this mentality, you can't get anywhere from internship. What is an intern? After college, what is an intern?
Slave.
You're a fucking beggar. You're a vagabond right now, and you better recognize your position. If you do not recognize your position and act accordingly to your position, whether I want to give you a morsel of bread, whether I want to use you for sexual fun, it doesn't matter whatever I want to do, and the balance is in my hands. And you better make the scale weigh in your favor. You see what I'm saying? Straight up. And the way you make your scale weigh is by making me feel good. Because I have the coins. You have no coins. This is Western attitude. This is everywhere. You get it. You don't go to college. Fuck the intern. You don't go to college. You say, I'm going to work at the company. What the company tell you? What the manager tell you? Hey man, you're doing real good. You do a little bit of this, you do a little bit of that, and da-da-da-da, you get on up, you move on, look at me. I've been here for 10, 15 years, the company did me good, my 401k got 750,000, blah, 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 blah. You see? Same attitude being taught to you on the job versus going to fucking college. You see what I'm saying? The attitude is, you be the good motherfucker and recognize your fucking position on this chessboard. Because if you do not know that you're a pawn, I will knock you over off the chessboard to remind you that you were a pawn.
Which leads to all the Pablo stories.
You better know your fucking spot. You see what I'm saying? But, okay, well go ahead. Listen, this is the next one.
So is that what happens? The people that didn't know their position got put into a Pablo?
There was 40 different forms of beggars up in the motherfucking book.
Right.
This is the mentality. Okay? There's stories in the Book of Kings being in beggars' positions. Okay?
Executioners.
They're executioners being in beggar positions. Executioners killing them. I got a story over there. There's an executioner. He does 5 murders and then he goes out and robs a bitch, kills the bitch, and then they throw his ass up on the fucking gallows. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's the attitude. You're going to be good. You're going to be my sexual toy. Okay? You're going to make me feel good, egotistical. You're going to stroke my ego. You're going to have my coffee warm. You're going to do all of that because you're going to know your position. And you're going to play silent and good and have a smile and wait to see if I'm going to give you a tip or not. Okay? 9 times out of 10 I will. You know? I respect good work. You know, I respect sincerity. And you're going to stay in that position until it's sincere. You see? I'm going to code it into your attitude and characteristic on how you will respond. You see? That's what motherfuckers don't get about how this society is built. And this is why a lot of niggas lose. Because everybody think, oh, look, nah, because you think you have pride.
Right.
All of these scenarios in this book have destroyed pride in Caucasians. That's how they can get out there butt naked playing the guitar. They can get out there butt naked and run across the football field like nothing. They've been pounded over and over for more than 1,000 years. Because a lot of this activity, inclusive with the weather, I found all the way back in Greece and Rome. You see what I'm saying? So they've already been flatted out that there's no pride here. There's no nothing here. I can do the porn. I can do this. I can do here. I can go be the Tibetan monk. Okay? I can get on stage and rip the bat's head off. I can do whatever the fuck. Because they're at a mentality the rest ain't at.
They've done it.
Right, they're at a mentality that the rest ain't at because they've been forced through a lot of experiences. What's the next one? What's the next one?
Their customs. It's crazy how a lot of their customs we do today, not knowing where they came from.
Oh, like what? Like what? I'm gonna name one.
Like the April Fools. The April Fools one, where they, I forgot what it was. But basically that's how people were like escaping because of this tradition where they would just have a day where people would just get out here and be crazy, you know? And a lot of the prisoners, they use that mechanism to escape. Because as they're walking out of the dungeons, people would be like, hey, that's so-and-so. Everybody like, April Fools. And he would just like get out. The Charibari, like that's a crazy ass fucking costume. Like I think in the Greek how they put, and even with the Jews how they put them up on the chairs, you know.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Okay, yeah. No, okay. I didn't think about that, but that's a good comparison right there. But I didn't think about that one. But the April Fools, there is no direct event that states April Fools. Let's be clear about this. April Fools is built off of a metaphysic, is what I want to call it. It's built off of a metaphysic. And what that metaphysic is that there's so many other customs and rituals and holidays and shit where they make the king the fool or the fool of the group, and this is the fool, and the festival of the ass, and the festival of this fool. Well, they do have a fool's festival. Did I talk about that there? Festival of the Fools? Yeah, the Festival of the Fools is in there. So there's so much shit about fool this and fool that. And even in the terminology, you know, their everyday terminology, they say, oh, you're a good fool for me. And you know what I'm saying? And fool wasn't used as a full negative term. Okay? Well, look at that. Fool and fool. In how we use F-U-L-L. You know, to be a fool is to be complete. You see what I'm saying? Is to understand the seriousness, but still allow the silliness to come out. And that's where we have the court's fool. You see what I'm saying? So when we talk about the court's fool was, and I go over what the court's fool was, I got a picture of him, and I explain who he was inside the book. And I believe the court's fool, like I said in the book, is a situation we may need to bring back today. Because even though the king's court was way more serious then than what it is now. When we talk about, for what we know, court, civil court, criminal court. But I do believe we need a court's fool to alleviate the racism, hatred in courts. The serious, real fucking talk. But our social system is developed on so much, I got to be the pride and I got to be the man. Who's going to be out here? Maybe we'll employ the bums. We'll employ the bums to be the court's fool. No, we need to develop a system. We need to clean it up, because the system that we have right now is failing. And I'm gonna tell you right now, there's a lot of elements from this, from dark ages that could be incorporated to today and bring some edginess and some cleanliness back. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, when we start hammering, cutting legs off and start hanging and quartering motherfuckers in the middle of the mall.
The market.
In the middle, the mall is the mall of today is yesterday's market. We do that shit in the middle of the fucking mall. We'll see how many motherfuckers I want to be out here child molesting and doing all types of bullshit. But go ahead, keep on going.
Yeah, and that was my next question in regards to like our justice system versus the justice system back there. Their law, their criminal cases, their prison. You know, to what I read about the tortures and the torture chambers and you know, like how they saw those bodies as like corpse medicine
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Like,
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
The corpse
that'd be
medicine.
nothing compared to like how people see our like appeal after appeal after appeal. No.
Yeah, it won't be no appeal. We got to land the stupid. We got a lot of stupid. And before we get to the stupid, she mentioned something else that I need to go in on real quick. It was the Charivari, which is something that we don't know nothing about. Mm-hmm. And the Charivari was, it's a little bloop before I give you the spiel of the marriage customs. The marriage customs you ain't gonna find all the way into the fourth part. But I gave in a little shit because the Charivari is not only related to marriages, but it's also related to social condition of a household inside of a community. Mm-hmm. Basically, what they had to set up was, if we know you over there, because during those times, ain't no TV.
Right. There ain't
no TV, ain't no cars driving by, ain't no EMT trucks, ain't no airplanes in the air. Right, ain't no helicopters in the air. So if you having some wild sex in your house, right, or if you beating your wife and you being the tyrant up in your house, mm-hmm. the neighborhood gonna know. Okay, and then depending on how, if you got trees around and how sound carries and how, nigga, we gonna know. So
they gonna police that.
So if we found out about it when they came to your house beating pans, they came to your
that make a clamorous noise.
They came to your house. They came to your house, and usually they did it in the middle of the night. And they come to your house making noise and banging and playing trumpets and playing violins, and they'd play them in obscure ways to make it sound like cats fighting and crying and screaming and shit. So it's like real crazy. And then they come banging on your door, and then they drag your ass out of the house, okay? And then they put you on a stick, and you gonna ride the Skemmington, nigga. They put your ass on a stick, and they put the pan on your head, and you gotta sing the song with them, goddamn, while you ride the shit. Yeah, and they ride your ass, and then your wife gets to berate you the whole time. She gets to hit you and throw stuff at you while you sitting on the stick, and then by the time they get to the market, everybody hauls off into a big brawl. And they scrap, and everybody mosh pits and fights. And that's called the Charivari. And they used to come to your house and do that shit if you was on your second marriage. Sometimes they do that shit on your first marriage. They'll come to your house and do that shit the night you're supposed to be having sex with your wife. On the first night you get married, they're like, oh nigga, you finna get some booty. So they come to your house and act a fool, you about to get the booty.
We can celebrate the booty.
So you know, and then, that was called the Charivari. All of that is inside the volume 1. So then after that, we got the torture shit went down, and we already know I did the torture lecture. The torture lecture is coming with the book, so I gotta explain a lot of stuff on there, and some elements I don't explain, because you gotta understand that in medieval society, there was 2 different torture chambers and 2 different executioners, okay? And 2 different justice systems. And sometimes they worked together and sometimes they didn't. But it was the religious justice system that was superior to the municipality. So that you have to understand that the first section that you run over is the municipality, is the city executioner, which was my man's Franz Schmidt, brother Franz Schmidt, and he's the one that I got his dictionary, I got his his diary, and I took a lot of notes from there. I put a lot of information from that book inside the book, okay? And then so he was one of the bloodline executioners, the ones that the city took care of and the city paid, and he learned from his father. And there's also notes that executioners from other cities and countries used to come and study with him. Mm-hmm. So they had a system, and they understood and respected. They said the Italian way, or the French way, or the German way. And sometimes the Spaniard way is good, those fucking pricks. Yeah, I hate the fucking English, but the way with the macaronis is something I might have to try these boots on. Mm-hmm. You dig? You see what I'm saying? Like the attitude is just a different thing. But yeah, so I'm going over the city executioner. There's a lot of stuff in there. I go over the torture chamber and all of that. But the other stuff, there's the 300,000 and 20,000 motherfuckers getting burned at one time, and that's all in volume 2. With the church. The church did that, not the city. So, you know, understand that it's still there, but it was 2 different strokes. You know. But go ahead, what's the next one?
Okay, so from torture chamber we go right into marriage. The custom of the ring, the widows, chastity belts. Like, how does that differ from like today? Or how has it evolved?
Okay, we just skipped the section. We skipped the peasants, the kings.
Oh yeah, the food, the clothes.
Oh, okay, you want to? Okay.
Okay.
Ask me a question about the food, then. Let's talk about that a little bit.
I don't have a question because it was just so gross. Like the pork jelly, like what they ate, how they ate it.
I'm gonna ask you, from what you read in the weather, do you think those eating habits evolved out?
And how everything was so hard, you know, famines, all that. Do you think that's what produced like so many like vagabonds and beggars and prostitutes? Do you think the weather condition
it enforced the famines. The famines enforced the deprivation. The deprivation enforces high-level illusion. That's where things get tricky. You see, the deprivation influenced high-level illusion and imagination in order to survive. To use you for sexual fun, whether I would, it doesn't matter whatever I want to do, and the balance is in my hands, and you better make the scale weigh in your favor. You see what I'm saying? Straight up. And the way you make your scale weigh is by making me feel good, because I have the coins. You have no coins. This is Western attitude. This is everywhere. You get it. You don't go to college. Fuck the intern. You don't go to college. You say, I'm gonna work at the company. What the company tell you? What the manager tell you? Hey man, you doing? I have to go to full extent in order to get the morsel of bread.
And do you think that just applied to the peasants, or the nobles have to get down like that too?
No, this applies to the Western attitude. If you don't have this mentality, you can't get anywhere from internship. What is an intern? After college, what is an intern?
Slave.
You're a fucking beggar. You're a vagabond right now, and you better recognize your position. If you do not recognize your position and act accordingly to your position, whether I want to give you a morsel of bread, whether I want... Because even if you have a morsel of bread, okay, and I have no bread, I have to make you like me in order to get a piece of bread. Period. Even if I can't make you like me, I have to make you feel at least sympathetic.
Right.
About my position, you know, and I have to look at myself as selfless. I have to be in full need on my knees, begging, kissing your feet, and washing your feet real good. You do a little bit of this, you do a little bit of that, and da-da-da-da, you get on up, you move on. Look at me. I've been here for 10, 15 years. The company did me good. My 401k got 750,000, blah, 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 blah. You see? Same attitude being taught to you on the job versus going to fucking college. You see what I'm saying? The attitude is, you be the good motherfucker and recognize your fucking position on this chessboard. Because if you do not know that you're a pawn, I will knock you over off the chessboard to remind you that you were a pawn.